Hey guys, how you doing? Here's another project I'm embarking on. Everything in my 442 is ship shape, but the interior has always been the weak side of the car. It's in good shape overall. It's white and it's old and kind of dingy. I mean, the seats aren't torn up or anything, but the door panels are really ripply and they're discolored. I mean, they're parchment, which is like an off-white, and they're old. It's all original stuff. So I thought it would be nice to buy door panels for it, but if you're gonna do door panels, you should do seat covers and all that stuff. So it snowballs. Before you know it, you spend $2,000 on interior parts, and for what I'm hearing, interior parts are about 8 to 10 months out when you order them. So along my journeys in life, I picked up a pair of reproduction door panels. Yes, they are black, but you can paint anything you want with interior paint nowadays, and it'll look like brand new. And I picked these up a few years ago from a friend of mine who had a 69 442 W30 and he never used these, so I got them for a song. So what these are what they call an incomplete door panel. I don't know how well versed you are in door panels, but when you buy an incomplete one, it doesn't have the upper sheet metal piece that goes around the top of your door. And that's the part that attaches here. It's like a half moon shape and it goes into here. That's a sheet metal hard piece. I think on some of the reproduction door panels, they make them out of plastic. But what a lot of guys do will take an old junk door panel, take the old steel piece out, attach it to the new incomplete panel, and then glue it on, and away you go. So these panels are what they call incomplete, so I don't have the option of anything but taking an old piece and fastening it to it. So I took my old door panel off to transfer the holes and stuff and to get the dimension correct, because if you look at this sheet metal piece, there's a pair I bought off a guy. If you look at it, and it's gross looking, when you tear it off the old door panel, you gotta take all this crap off. This is like foam and felt and whatever off the old one. So I wire wheeled this one and I've attached it already. I just pop rivet it on with stainless steel rivets and use washers to back it up. This is just cardboard. Some guys use screws and nuts. I just think that rivets are faster. So that's the way I've done it. So you have to locate where this goes top to bottom. That's why I took the old panel off, and it's under here. And you can see the sheet metal piece right there. It's attached to it. And if you peel this back, you see that there's a little like notch, and it's got about, I don't know, 1/8 inch or so from the notch to the cardboard, which is what I duplicated on this one. And also, a benefit of using an old sheet metal piece is you can see the line where the cardboard was originally attached. So there's that little gap I was talking about right there. And on this end, my original panel is a little ridge right there, butts up right against it. So I just duplicated that on this one. And I put a couple of pop rivets in it to hold together, and I put it on my car to make sure that the fit was accurate. And it was. It sits where it needs to sit. These holes all line up. These come what I call blank. All these holes aren't punched out. And there's a crank knob hole right here for a roll-up window car. My car has power windows, so I had to put my old panel on top of this one and scribe the hole so I can cut it with an X-Acto knife, so my power window switch, the escutcheon will pop in there, and then the switch will pop in there. So hopefully, put it all together, my power window switch won't be at a 45-degree angle. It should be okay, but I cut it small so I can trim it and adjust it if I need to, which I'm sure I will need to, because I'm a fussy asshole and I want everything just right. So anyway, that's kind of how you do all this stuff. And now you have to glue this all on. And the jute or foam, whatever you want to call it, in the back was really long, so I had to trim it back, because I don't think you want it coming much more than there. Because when you pull this material over and glue it on, this piece gets attached. This is a window sweep. It's held on with humongous staples, but if it's too thick in here, you'll push everything out. So, and feeling the original one, there's no foam in there. You can see it. It's just material. So I cut the foam so it stops right on the edge. It'll be this edge right here. That's right here. It'll stop right there. If you look at it, you can see exactly what I did. So when you wrap it, you just wrap the material. So it may be a little lumpy here and there, but again, when you put the sweep on, it'll suck it all in. So now I'm at the point where I need to glue everything down and then fasten it and let it dry. It dries pretty quick, but I'm not putting the panels on today because I have to paint all this stuff. What I'm gonna do so it all looks uniform is rather than just paint the front panels, I'm gonna take out the rear panels. I'm gonna take out the rear interior door panel and the ash well panel. That's that panel right there that the convertible top pulls into. It's got the ashtray in it and the light. I'll take the back seat out. I'll take the door panels off. I'll take the ash well out. I haven't painted it all together. That way it's all matching. So the transition from front to rear will be the same. The seats are going to be a little bit off color from it, but what am I going to do? I mean, I can always paint the seats, although I don't like that, because to me, door panels are one thing. They just lay flat. Seats, you're in and out of. Your ass is rubbing on them. You're going to rub the paint off it, or it's going to crack. I know it's flex additive you could put in, but I'm not to the point in my life where I'm ready to paint a seat. I'm sure people have done it, but I'm comfortable doing the door panels and the ash well panels. But I'd rather line at seats. So if the seats are a little bit off from the door panels, so be it. I mean, honestly, if you look at my car, you can see that the that armrest, it's like pure white, and the door panels are off-white. Yeah, if you look at this one, that might have been replaced because this one is actually closer to the armrest, but it's still off. It's more of a white. So I'm gonna guess that none of this stuff matched quite right. You know, because they don't paint the seats, they upholster the seats, they paint the console, they paint, you know, trim pieces, stuff like that. This piece right here, you know, they paint that. So I'm sure that is not the same color as the seat. All I'm saying is there's always some non-uniformity of shades. So I'm not worried of how it's gonna look. I mean, as long as it doesn't stick out like a sore ass in a nudist colony, we're all good. So let me glue this thing down and show you the final product. So there you go, it's drying. I have it all clamped. That's how it's gonna look. It's fluffy, you know, but you know, it's glues over and it lays over, and then you put the weather stripping on it, and that's the story. So let me keep plugging away here and do the other one, and da-da-da-da-da. All right, friends, I got the rear side panels back in, the back seats back in. Passenger side door panels on and done. Still having more trouble with that power window switch. Metal is scutching, but I'll figure that out today. So one side is done and the back seat's in, and you can see, I don't know how well it'll show up here, the color match is off on the seat and the panels. I'd like to believe that the panels are closer to the original color of the interior. You know, it's off-white, it's called parchment. And the back seat is yellowed from 50 years of being in the sun and, you know, dirt and use and whatever, but I really don't know. So let me get the driver's side done today, and then we're done. So you can see this panel is dingy. It's been cleaned a zillion times, but it's, you know, stains coming through. That's why I say that the color is way darker and yellowy than it should be. I can't say what the original shade was. But the you know, the chrome pieces are all weathered and worn. This one broke actually. Yeah, the panel itself is all buckled from, you know, rainwater hitting it. The bottom is all chewed to shit. You know, it's been patched and screwed on, and you know, the chrome's falling apart. The chrome trim, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I wanted to replace all this stuff. But it'll be done shortly. You know, even the lock knobs are they're all worn out. You know, if I can get closer and get a better look at it. You know, the chrome's all worn away. I mean, from years of picking up with your fingers and pushing them down and picking them up, it just wears stuff away. The flutes are all worn down. So I got new lock knobs. So I need to put the new internal trim, you know, the inside fuzzy on the new panel. I'll be doing that next, and then I'll swap all this stuff over, and then this will be done. So stay tuned. Somewhere in the life of this car, somebody decided to cut speaker holes in the door panels too, which is a huge turn off for me. It looks like shit. You know, they're black on a white panel, and they don't work that well anyway. They're behind you. How are you going to hear it that well? So I put in the kick panel speakers, if you can see it over there. They transmit way more sound. They look a lot nicer. So I did that years ago. So that's one of the things I'm doing away with in the new door panels. I'm getting rid of these holes. So that will be a nice improvement too. Okay, stand by. One other thing I hope to take care of while I'm in here. Listen to this. Ready? Get that rattle? That's gotta be the glass moving around, I'm sure. Whatever it is, I will find it and I will fix it. I did it on the passenger's door. And let's see if it makes me a liar or not. But this door had a rattle in it too. But as of yesterday, it was gone. Let's see if I'm crazy or not. Ready? Isn't that nice? Look at that, huh? It's like a bank vault. And you know when you drive down the road, sure as shit, it's gonna rattle like hell. So if I can fix it in this one, I should be able to fix it in that one. So once again, stay tuned. So here's the new door panel on my makeshift bench in my garage. 2 sawhorses, a piece of wood, and a blanket. This is the new window fuzzy for the door panel side. The ones for the car side have slots cut into them already for the screws to fasten to the body. The door panel side does not. You can staple them on, or they give you little screws to screw them on. So what you gotta do is center it, get it to the front to back relationship you wanna maintain. And then you just drill the holes and you run the screws in. Simple as that. So I'm gonna put it where I want it. Then I'll drill the holes. When I'm done, I'll probably trim off some of this excess material. And away we go. All right, they're clamped on. Just gonna make sure the chrome butts up to the top of the panel so it's not too sunk. That's pretty easy to do. And drill your holes and put a screw in. And there you go. First one's in. It's nice and flush. I mean, this is gonna cover it anyway when it's put back in position. Now just run down the line and get them all done. And there you go. Space them appropriately, and life will be wonderful. All right, let's move on to putting this chrome trim bezel on. I'm not gonna lie, this stuff's a pain in the ass. Cutting through this cardboard, this material, and the foam, this shit's strong. It's a little nerve-wracking too. I mean, this one's pretty safe because, you know, it goes there. So if you fuck up a hole, you have plenty of latitude to cover it. But like the power window stuff, the mirror stuff, the bezels for those are only so big, so don't screw up. This one's interesting because this hole missing. If you look, they give you the pop out for this, which is this, screw hole for this, the slot for this, where the clip goes. This one for the handle. But that one is missing. When you go to put this on, you'll find that, you know, these are locating dowels. When you go to put it on, it's like, hey, what's this thing go? And it doesn't fit against the panel. Yeah, guess why? Because there's no recess for that. So you got to cut that one. I just noticed too that this is missing too. Are you shitting me? Yeah, the slit for this one's missing. You know, it's a big clip that goes in here. So it's a pretty big rectangle. So I got to put that one in too. Jesus. Guess they were asleep at the fucking switch the day they made this panel. Wow, So let me take care of that stuff and follow along. All right, using the piece I cut out of this one to draw a square on that one and that one. I'll cut those out. I gotta make it smaller, of course, but you know, you get the idea. Yeah, I missed 2 of them, by the way, not just one. Fucking idiots, but okay, well, here we go. So, I'm trying to find the rattles on my driver's door, and I found a big one. It's, this isn't the window for my door. This is my old passenger's window. I changed it out because of some pits in the glass. So while I had the door apart, I thought I changed the glass. But this nut, I guess you call it, that holds this roller onto the glass was loose. So I had to make this wrench, a piece of scrap steel. Just indexes in, and then you tighten it up. Hold this side with a pair of vice grips, and then crank this fucker up to get it tight to the glass. So that took care of the majority of my rattle on that door. There's still a thud noise down by the power window motor. I don't know why it's doing it. If it's just the motor is touching somewhere on the door I can't see, or what's going on, but I'm not gonna kill the rest of the day working on that. I wanna get this thing done. I've been working on this thing since Friday. It's Sunday now. So that was the majority of the rattle, and I'm happy I found it, but I'm through. So let me get back to work, putting this door together, and hope when I put the piece of paper over it and the door panel. That'll muffle it enough that I won't hear it driving on the road. Say a prayer. So here's the chrome armrest bezel on my old door. And what holds them on is these funny clips that go in those rectangular holes. So this one's broken off already. Nice. So I gotta try to save these two. If I can make, well, I can't make one, but once the screws are in for the armrest, that should hold it all together. I just don't have one of those, and making one of those would be a bitch. So let me get these off and transfer it over to my new panel. Everything is transferred over. Everything seems to fit pretty well. I had nightmares with the power window switch hole being crooked, but I think I got it pretty straight. This rocket, these are a pain in the ass to get on and off. I'll show you why. We'll hold it on with these little push clips, and the other panel, for whatever reason, had 4 of them. So 2 were used, 2 weren't used. So if I screw 2 of them up, I'll just use the 2 unused ones. Well, no such luck on this one. They only gave me 3. Luckily, I managed to sneak it off without destroying it, so I only had 1 spare, but these are a pain in the nuts to get on and off. You know, this is missing the clip. I just don't have it, but once you put the screws in the armrest base, it can't go anywhere anyway. So everything's transferred over. The mirror bezel hole is cut. I put the little metal backings for the screws in. Speed nuts, I think that's what you call them. And it's ready to go on. So let me tape on my door panel paper, the water barrier, and get this thing done. And the door panel is done. It's on, done, fits good, looks good. And the good news is that clunk noise is gone. I guess once you put the panel on and the water shield, it hushes it up enough, so sweet. So there you go. You know, the color match to my seats is definitely off, but again, these seats are 50 years old. You know, they've yellowed. You know, the sun's faded them. They've been dirty so many times, it's hard to get it out. I mean, I can give them a good scrub, but it's never gonna come like that. So that's that. I mean, what do you want? It looks good. I'm happy. Let's leave it alone. I'll go put that power window switch in that door because it's still fighting me, and that'll be the end of it. So what lessons can I teach you from this job? These were cheap door panels. They were PUIs, I think. Buy the good ones. I'm gonna say, what's the Legendary are the good ones. And those are the ones that are like 8 months back order. They're probably worth it. These are flimsy. And as you saw on the driver's panel, some of the pre-punched holes weren't pre-punched. Thanks. So be on the lookout for that. My car has power windows, and the motors are, as far as I can tell, original. They're old and they're weak. So all the new rubber in here makes the clearances super tight. So the windows are definitely struggling to go up and down. Maybe when the car's running and the alternator is constantly charging it, it'll have a little more oomph. Maybe after I wash it a couple of times, it'll get some saturation on the rubber. That'll let them slide a little better. But right now, they don't want to go up too good. So I have to give them a little hand, literally. But, you know, it's an old car. If I had brand new power window motors in it, they probably would whip up and down. But it is what it is. So there you go. Hope we learned something. One last thing. These are an absolute bitch to put in. Oh my God, these are hard to get in right because this thing has a inner leg that goes against the body. So you got to catch the screw through the rubber. And there's a bead right here that goes under the chrome molding. What a pain in the ass you have to fit. I had to bend this thing a little bit up to get it to clear. And I had to relieve the rubber under here so it had room to actually squeeze in. That was a pain in the ass. That side fit better because the chrome didn't seem to be as tweaked down as this one is. I mean, this is stainless steel. It'll bend until it finally snaps off in your hands. You gotta be gentle with it. But that is something you should be careful of. And as I heard online, none of these chrome moldings fit very well, so keep that in mind too. You know, when I say chrome molding, I mean these fuzzies, you know, the beads. And even now, the rubber is still squeezing in a little. Like you can see, it lays down nice here. But then when you get around here, it starts to squeeze it down. So it's pulling it in, which I did the best I could with it. But I've seen a lot of guys take pictures for me online. Same problem. So they fit like shit, unless you can get OEM ones, which probably were discontinued 30 years ago. This is the best you're gonna get. So again, when you buy this stuff, buy the best you can get. I think these are PUI too, which is, So anyway, that's the story. This job is done once I get that window switch in, and then we can move on to whatever else I need to do. I don't know. I'd like to just drive this thing some summer and not do anything to it, but we'll see. I don't know what's next. We'll have to see. Maybe there's nothing next. Maybe I'm done. I don't know. I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll find out together. Thanks for watching. Hope your projects are going well. See ya.